Hi everyone, this is Christine from Haberdashery. We want to wish you a happy St. Patrick's Day, and we also want to welcome you to our very first video here at Haberdashery. If you're following us from the Muse Chronicles, welcome. We really hope you enjoy our topic today. So it's St. Patrick's Day, so our topic is going to be green, and if you're wondering why I bothered to paint my thumb green. Yes, I painted my thumb green for you guys. It's just because our topic is going to be about indoor gardening today. Just some of the things we've been doing and I've been wanting to do. And now I have the time to do it. And so I thought I'd just share the experience with you. Right now we also have our green company. We have our little baby Yoda right here. He's a really cool planner display guy. And we just kind of stick him in our little planners. And we also have our little plushie. And he's usually hanging out with me on my desk, but today he's giving me some company here while I spend some time with you guys. So yeah, right now, especially my friends and family in California, I know that they're doing that lockdown now where basically they can't go anywhere for the next 2 weeks unless it's for medical or emergency reasons. And so this is mostly for them. And here in Austin, we don't quite have that yet, but we do have a restriction of about no more than 10 people in one group. Like I said, I never with like I said with News Chronicles, I don't necessarily like this social distancing thing. I know it's very important, but it's also leaving a lot of people feeling a little distraught, and maybe they don't have the right support system. So if you're in that situation, just please reach out either on the internet to your friends and family. You'll need that. I mean, it might only be for a few weeks, but still, that it's important for people to have that. So the reason I decided to do, if you actually do follow Haberdashery, you'll realize we're actually more of an art site. I am a professional artist. I do a lot of pop art, so like this little baby Yoda thing here. So most of the time I am going to Comic Cons and art shows, but because of what's going on in a certain situation, we can't have any more than 10 people. All my events got canceled to be announced for indefinite number of time. I'm not quite sure when that's all going to come back. I'm holding my breath on that, but in the meantime, I'm making the most of it. I mean, I've always wanted to do an indoor garden. For those of you that did know me, when I was in California, we had a pretty cool big backyard. We were able to have 3 chickens on our property, as well as there was a plum tree, and we made some jam out of that. And we also had a pretty good space to have our own garden, and we did everything. We did composting. We would basically take all our house scraps and put it back into the garden, including the chicken waste would all just be, oh my god, and we had like the best soil ever. If I can find pictures, I will share those with you. But for now, we're here in Austin. We're looking for a house the whole time we were here, but a lot of things have happened. My husband's aunt had fell ill and had cancer the year before, 2 years before this, and then my mom ended up getting cancer earlier last year. So we just never really moved from our place. It's been hard, but like I said, we do try to make the best of everything. So and I was just kind of thinking, I really want to garden again. I really miss having green plants all around me. So that's what I decided to do. I decided to do a little bit of an indoor garden. Normally I would actually do things from seed, but just because right now it's more important for me to have fresh herbs whenever I need it and not have to go to the store right now, which I don't think anyone wants to have to do. I just decided to go ahead and just get these plants started. But in my next few channels, if I'm not doing any art tutorials, I will be going over things like seeds, planting from seeds, and maybe even like actually growing from clippings. A lot of people actually that I know are actually pretty scared of gardening. They don't think they have the green thumb, and I told them, I tell them you don't have to worry too much about plants. Let me share just a little cool story with you. I'm not really familiar, with how to grow, for some strange reason, even though I'm pretty good in the garden, I wasn't really familiar with how to grow the bamboo shoots. And supposedly you can't kill these things. They're pretty resilient. But one day when I came back home after like a 2-week trip, my daughter forgot to. My daughter Cheryl, I love you, Cheryl. She forgot to water our plants, and I think one of them, this plant right here, it was actually pretty big. There's 2 or 3 other plants that are connected to this plant, but it ended up getting root rot at the very bottom. And you will know when it's root rot, it will actually have a very dark, it doesn't look healthy color. Right now it's a nice little white, healthy color right here. And it will smell really bad, like pungent. So that's what happened to my poor little money plant. And I was devastated because I literally didn't think I was going to be able to save it. It was yellow. It was pretty bad. So I went online and I was able to find a few links, and they said just go ahead and cut off all the rotten roots and just stick those suckers into water. And literally there was some little, I only had little nubs sometimes of just the bamboo, and I was like, is this gonna come back? I don't know. But I just let it sit in the water for like maybe 2 weeks, and that's all they said, just keep clean water in there. And it ended up coming back and blooming, and the roots are just amazing. And now and this is really more of like a hydroponic type system where it's just sitting in water. It is getting nutrients from the water, but literally I don't have to do anything to it. And it just grows. And plus I can see the roots a little bit better, so I know if it's having any problems. That's really one of the ways you can tell. Besides, the plant being either yellow or a color that's anything other than green. So back to the indoor garden. I actually got a few of my favorite ones. I'm not, particularly to any brand. I really try to get organic if I can. I like to eat organic, but sometimes it's not always possible. When I go to Home Depot, they have Bonnie, which I think is a great product. When it comes to organic for me, as long as the way you're raising your plant is organic, by the time it's growing up and everything, it's going to be absorbing whatever soil you replanted it anyway, and the way you're doing it. So it's going to pretty much stay in the same manner. But this is Bonnie. It's from Home Depot. I think one of the reasons I like getting my plants from Home Depot is if you ever manage to kill a plant from Home Depot, you're able to bring the dead plant back and actually get an exchange or a refund, or actually probably just an exchange. I think that's their policy. But so for you guys that are kind of worried about having a good thumb, you could probably just work at it a few times, and then if it just really doesn't work, give up on it. But just that's probably a good thing to maybe start with if you're just like not too sure whether or not you're really good with plants or not. Just get something, and if it gets bad, you can literally replace these. But so I just another thing, when I'm getting my herbs, I don't get herbs I'm not gonna use. I know it's kind of silly to say that, but there's a lot of herbs out there I would never use. I love tarragon, and I love rosemary, but those aren't like my staples. But I do buy them sometimes. But I bought basil, and this is what you probably put in a pesto with some garlic and olive oil. This is a really small plant. You would have to put tons of basil just to get the amount of pesto that you'd really want out of a thing. But these grow pretty fast. I also bought I bought this a few weeks ago. So this was one of the first few plants I bought. It was cilantro. This grows great in soups, and it just aromatic. It smells so good. And I also bought this Italian parsley, and it's huge. It has some yellowing plants, but I would always kind of clip off the yellow plants or anything that just was dead, just because when you're growing a plant, this is all, believe it or not, it's all sucking energy from the plant. It's still trying to sort of grow, but it's just not healthy, and I don't think it tastes very good. So I just cut out anything dead or yellow. Not only will your plant look prettier, but believe it or not, it will grow a lot better just because the energy is going towards the more healthier parts of the plant. I also got this Greek oregano. Now, there's Italian oregano, but I wasn't really sure the difference between Greek and Italian, so I just wanted to try it to see if there was a difference. It smells pretty much the same. I love the way herbs smell. I think they smell so amazing, and you can use them for anything. And right now, if you're trying to boost your immunity, especially keep yourself healthy, having all these fresh herbs are really, really, really good for you. And garlic and onions. And I know online they say that these antioxidants things aren't true, but I can't argue with grandma's chicken soup when I was eating chicken. But you know what I mean? And she put all these crazy vegetables in there. Now, the only one I couldn't quite get a very nice plant from was dill, and dill's just a really delicate plant to begin with. I have yet to really be able to grow it without it being very finicky. It's just so, it's because the leaves are so thin and so delicate that it's very hard to kind of, you know, they wilt. It looks like it's sagging and wilting most of the time. So I will definitely figure out a better way to kind of grow that. But when I am picking plants, one of the tips I would definitely suggest to you is, because all these plants technically are about the same price. They come in the same price, and sometimes they just start as little little growths that just literally start growing, and then you have these ones that are fully like grown out. They're almost like outgrowing their pot, and I definitely suggest you get those because you're getting more bang for your buck. I mean, literally, sometimes the stores will just literally leave them in their pots just overgrown and everything like that, and if you're lucky to find them, I definitely suggest to get them. When I got this tomato plant right here, I mean, look at it, it's literally like outgrowing. It's and I was like really happy because then that's less time for me to have to wait for it to grow, and it's already starting to bud and have some flowers that are going to turn to tomatoes pretty soon. And yeah, so aside from that, I really love succulents too. And in my next few videos, I might actually show you how to regrow some succulents. I'm using one of those online hacks that I saw. I mean, a lot of the things I've seen here were from online hacks, which is really cool. One of them I did like a lot. I don't think we all realize that when we're buying produce that we don't necessarily just have to kind of use them up. Things like onions and things that are like roots and celeries, that you're actually still able to, if you just went ahead and just planted them in the ground, they would just keep growing. I mean, yes, straight from the grocery store into the pot, right? So I thought that was really interesting because I was like, wow, why are we just buying produce that can be used up when we can just literally, plant it, and then we don't have to, worry about it for quite some time. And literally, I have this since last year. I saw one of those hacks last year, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try that, and it really worked really well. One day I forgot to water them and they just died. I mean, it wasn't within a day. It was a week that I was gone again, and it just died. And I was like, oh, it's dead. I guess nothing's gonna come from it. And I left it in the pot, and a year later, I think during a really big rainstorm, it got really wet and soaked, and there were a bunch of other ones, and they all grew back. So don't worry about having a green thumb. I think sometimes the less you do with the plants, the better they thrive. They're a lot like people and children. You just need to kind of give them room and space to grow, and just give them exactly what they need, water and plants. I think sometimes we kind of overwork things and overdo things, and that's kind of where we have problems, overwatering, just because, we don't have to do all that. We just need to do the bare necessities. And I know a lot of people probably don't have time to sit there and water plants all day long. I'm going to start looking into hydroponic systems where all you really have to do is just make sure that it has fresh water, and maybe on occasions put in some nutrients. And that's actually really good for people that have to do things indoors and they just have really small space to work with. So yeah, I absolutely love gardening. I miss having my yard, but in the meantime, I'm given the opportunity to kind of research, new ways to kind of fulfill some of my hobbies. And I'm really glad to be able to share this with you guys. I mean, definitely, leave some comments and links below if this is something you're interested in. If you want to see me do the hydroponic system and share that with you, I would definitely love to share everything I learned. I mean, to me, this world is so big. I feel like there's enough for everybody. So there's, even if you can take my idea and do something amazing with it. That's kind of my job as a muse anyways, to inspire people to do things in bigger and better ways, and in ways they can't possibly imagine. So I know this is some crazy times. I'm just literally just having to just give you some feedback. I have to shift gears now because my company deeply depended on me having my shows and all these events, and that's at a standstill till the government allows us to go back to business. And so, a lot of us have to find new ways and new inventions, new ways to reinvent our businesses. And we have such a great platform on YouTube and Facebook. So I would really appreciate it if you guys could, like and follow me. I will definitely be making more videos for you guys. And even after all of this, I think if I get enough of a following, I can definitely just continue. And, maybe this is, I like to take a bad situation and just find some good in it. So maybe this is just a good way for all of us to kind of reinvent ourselves and find new and better ways to do everything. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, please like and follow us. I would love to be able to get my first 1,000 in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to be working hard just to kind of make sure we stay entertaining for you guys. And if you have any questions and concerns, please leave any messages or any inquiries on the link below on our any kind of comments that you might have. We definitely enjoy doing this for you, and we hope that you are all staying healthy and safe at this time. You guys have a great day. Bye bye.